What's going on, everybody? I'm Shy. This is the Dollar Tree. Shout out to all the new subscribers. Yes, timestamps are in the description. We make sure we make that happen, so please make this happen. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification so you know when we upload a new video. Make sure you hit all. Okay, this video, we're going to talk about Litecoin. We're going to talk about Uniswap. Uniswap, of course, is long overdue. I should have probably updated on Uniswap the moment it hit and held that area that I spoke of, which was critical for it, okay? However, we're going to get to it, all right? So Litecoin, 1, 2, 3. Somebody in the comment section asked me, shout out to you, about Litecoin as far as I think it's 4 to 6 month investment, something like that. Or maybe let's just say end of the bull run. If not, maybe you have your price targets that you want Litecoin to reach. We're gonna hit the charts. So number one, I just want to talk a little bit about Litecoin. Number two, we're gonna see what's been up recently in the news on Litecoin. See if there's anything that could re-cement themselves. And number three, take a look at the charts. And then number four, go over UNI. Don't forget timestamps are in the description. Litecoin, contrary to belief, I really like Litecoin. Now, last video I did on XRP, okay, I spoke about how XRP, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I can kind of say that about Litecoin, but there is no ugly. There's only the bad and then the good. Now, I also said that you can do some things with XRP regardless of its price stagnation or price stability, all right? It's price stability. So Litecoin hasn't moved that much. Litecoin has taken a huge hit, of course. But let me tell you something. Unlike things like a Chainlink, which can get very parabolic real quick because of the popularity, Litecoin and XRP is presumed to have a lot of popularity as well. But Litecoin, not so much between all three. But the thing about Litecoin is this. You can still make passive income off coins like Litecoin. You don't expect them to go crazy often. They'll stay in a nice range for a certain amount of time. So over the course of an uptrend in the market, an uptrending market, you can generate substantial levels of passive income, low maintenance, all right? And even in a downtrend, on the Patreon, we will talk about passive income in the bear market, okay? How you can still maintain the same gains in passive income in the bear market on the Patreon. We need to get to 500 subscribers for that. Now, despite that, I think that's a huge benefit, man. People looking for the, $500 to $50 million or, okay, all right, yeah, okay, 50 million, too far. People are looking for the $500, $1,000 to, $1 million or $500,000 or $250,000 in the market. Unfortunately, for the most part, unless you get lucky and you really have the time to pay attention to the charts and strategize, that's out of the question. Let's go take a look at the news. Let's see what Litecoin has been up recently, and then we'll migrate to the charts from there. Okay, here we go. We're on Google, and right now what I'm basically trying to do by going through this is figure out what can I find in the news that's going to cement Litecoin as something that people will be willing to invest in or is being used over the course of the remaining bull run, and then we'll figure out what they can come up with going forward. Now, early on, of course, it has been known or has gone around and across the crypto web that Litecoin is the silver to Bitcoin as gold. All right, people have made that comparison, and I kind of don't disagree with it because what does Litecoin really do? We know what Bitcoin is. Unlike Bitcoin, though, Litecoin, you can point to Charlie Lee, right? So that's not good. So that's a negative aspect of it already. But nonetheless, let's see what we can maximize out of Litecoin for the rest of this bull cycle, and then we'll make the decision going into the bear cycle whether it can remain as a cryptocurrency to just buy and hold and expect gains. Now, let me say this. If you are going to invest in Litecoin, from our experience, looking at the chart, which we'll get to later, you don't want to buy high in Litecoin. It will take you eons to get that money back. And I don't think it's really different in silver as well. But here we go. /gear. PayPal cryptocurrency update includes Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, and Ethereum. All right. Litecoin is being acknowledged. That is a good thing. They are still acknowledged as that top echelon of the Bitcoin, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, and Ethereum group. That is very good. PayPal will now let all users in the US buy and sell cryptocurrencies. Well, there you go. And of course, you know, Litecoin is a part of that as well. Listen, as far as Litecoin, I would like to see Litecoin do much more than try and just be a silver to Bitcoin's gold, because although it tries to be that, listen, nobody can go to the head of Bitcoin and say, give me this or give me that or shut this down. They just can't. It's truly decentralized. So that's, you know, that's a knock against Litecoin as far as whether you really want to consider it and hold it long term. But you know my opinion. When it comes to the end of the bull market, none of these coins will presumably be good to hold for a specific amount of time, because all you're going to see is downside. Did we not see how much the coins fell over the course of the previous bull run? I mean, huge hits in price. I made a video about it on this channel. So let's see what else we can find interesting in regards to Litecoin to just give us some confidence in the investment of Litecoin. All right, here we go. Venezuela unveils state-run Bitcoin, Litecoin, Dash, and Petro exchange. Of course, Litecoin is what we want to see in that. So Litecoin is being offered as an opportunity for people to buy and sell or exchange or whatever the case may be. That is good. That's what we want to see. Let's see what else we can find. Litecoin gains 10% as investors gain confidence. All right. I guess I might as well just let you guys in on a little secret. Part of a strategy for Litecoin was simple. Buy under a certain level, sell above a certain level. And when we get to the charts, I'll go in on that further. You know, we're heading toward the end of the bull run, so I will dive a little bit deeper in that further, okay? Okay, Cardano and Litecoin exploring cross-chain communication. Let's take a look and see what Litecoin is up to. Cardano and Litecoin are investigating a new cooperation to establish cross-chain communication, smart contracts, compatibility, and increased scalability. All right. So this could be made possible by a so-called velvet fork, but further investigation must first be completed. All right. So it looks like they're trying to maneuver or make their way over to smart contracts. Litecoin is. A lot of people are going into smart contracts. I don't understand how this will potentially separating them. I understand that Cardano has a great following, and Cardano is heralded. I don't know if they're looking at this as an opportunity to say, okay, we might get some investors from some Cardano investors to invest in Litecoin due to this idea. But I mean, we'll see what happens. I think it's good news regardless. It shows that there's some activity in regards to Litecoin, which should help the price. That baseline price, you know, help them build value toward the end of this bull cycle. Here's another part that I want to take a look at. According to Schwartz, a velvet fork is neither a hard fork nor a soft fork. With a velvet fork, new code is added to the base, similar to a protocol upgrade, but no majority consensus is required. All miners on the network can continue to work as normal, regardless of whether they have implemented the upgrade or not. They can decide for themselves whether they want to participate. I don't know. I'd have to think about that a little bit more, but let's move on. A Litecoin Nigerian pair is coming soon on Binance Exchange. I mean, listen, that the more people that are open to Litecoin and the ability to invest in it, the better. All right. You know, but again, Litecoin has to show that it's going to be a major player going forward. Binance will open trading for the following additional pairs: DNT BUSD, DNT USDT, ADA Euro, and Litecoin NGN. All right. Binance will soon be launching a Litecoin Nigerian Naira. So excuse me if I'm botching that, trading pair on its platform, according to a recent update from the company. The new trading pair is likely informed by the surge in Litecoin demand in Africa, which was recently reported by local cryptos. I mean, maybe Maybe that can be the boost Litecoin needs. Maybe someone else in a different area may find extreme value in it. I mean, that's good. I mean, I don't want to go too far because, look, we're already on page 8 and it's not much here. So, I mean, I want to see more from Litecoin. But let's go take a look at the charts and let's see if we can see more on the charts. All right, let's kick it up. Per usual, we're starting off with the weekly. And as you can see, the price action is lackluster. Unlike Bitcoin, which is a terrible comparison, it is nowhere near that all-time high. But then again, neither is Ethereum, and Ethereum is heralded. So on the weekly, what can we see? We can see now that here at the bottom, at the very bottom, you've touched this $25 joint, this $25 area. You've been down here twice, all right, twice. And that's below even the introductory price of around $50. So let me draw some lines. You probably can already see the lines on the chart, of course. You know how this goes. So all the way to the left, you can see the short line that I drew. You can see that. So all the way to the left, you can see this little tiny line that I drew. Let me zoom in over here for you guys. You can see that this is pretty much the introductory price, and the price and it skyrocketed from there. Now you can also see that on this longer line that I've drawn, that the price at the bottom, let's zoom back out, at the bottom, that this was it fell below that, just like Uniswap recently did. We'll get to that. But has since recovered, not by much. $60 from $25 is not much, but it's a recovery nonetheless. So what do we know this as now? We know this as a major support. And we also know that on the weekly, if we don't want to retest this major support or break below it, we're gonna want to break this all-time high during this run-up. No question. If we do not break all-time highs during this bull run-up for Litecoin, there is a very, very good chance in the bear market you go under $20. There's a very good chance of that. Okay, so just keep that in mind of the possibility, and let's see if it can perform. Let's move on to the daily. All right, here on the daily, this will take us to the most important part of this entire video, the March low. I have the March low circled here for you guys so you can have an idea of just how not far away that is. Comparable to, Litecoin, Ethereum, and a lot of other things. Ethereum was down to $92 and it's currently for over $450. That's a big jump. In comparison, this was down to about $22, $25 and it's only at $60. Not that good. Okay. But nonetheless, it is very bullish and it has a lot of upside potential. Now, we can see that if Litecoin can break this $68, if Litecoin can break $68, your next target is $81. $81, $82 is your next target. Let me go ahead and switch screenshots on the daily so you can see that better for the lines that I've drawn. Okay, so that $82 range, which is where it fell from before the March low, or I guess you could say at the March low, right there. It was as high as it has gotten, and then of course it came all the way back down to $22, $25, depending on the exchange. Now, once you break 82, you're gonna have some scrub resistance in the in between, but it's gonna be a very difficult climb back above $100, plain and simple. But if you can manage and get above $100, 106 to 112 is next. So let me switch screenshots and let me draw 106 for you guys. Now, all of these, of course, are trading ranges on a daily. So these trading ranges on the daily, man, they're going to be tough to break. So, okay, so what I'm looking at right now is simple. If we want to see over $100 for Litecoin, you're going to have to do more than just break 65. You're going to have to do much more than break $65. And man, when you look to the left of the up and down of that range, it's going to be tough to break, all right? Especially when you have other cryptocurrencies that are gaining traction, much more popular, and are overall better performers. It is going to be difficult to people to feel the need to put their money in Litecoin unless they've already made their money in another coin and they're migrating into Litecoin to see if they can make additional money in Litecoin. So keep that in mind. Let's go down to the 12-hour. Now on the 12-hour, I've taken away those other lines to just so you can focus on what this range that I've drawn here. Now, you can see that it respected this range for a very long time. It broke out of it. It tried to break out of it, got rejected, and came back into this range and has since broken out of it again. So this is going to be a retest of that $65, $70 range right now at $65. But you need to break above and hold $70 to continue up to that $82 high, all right? So I want to see if it can create a new range that is where the orange line is up to the $80 line that I took away from the top, all right? So that is very important. So we look to see $50 now to be erased from the equation going forward. Now, that is off the cards if Bitcoin decides to dump, all right? So if you're looking to continuously accumulate in Litecoin going forward, you need to see, you need to have a strategy, okay? So now let's talk about this strategy. A strategy that I developed for Litecoin was simple. You got two ranges depending on when you start trading. Buying. You can either buy under 50, accumulate. No different than the SXP swipe and Algorand trade setups that I talked about, that when you buy, you're going to have to establish accumulation line. But if you bought high in Litecoin, you're automatically going to have to readjust that strategy if you're investing for the long term. But as of right now, for the last, of course, year, well, not year, but basically for this year, it has been accumulate below $50 or accumulate below $60. But mostly for this one, it is $50. Because you can see this upper line, this first green line for the range that I've drawn, it was a lot of price action under $50. Weeks and weeks and weeks under there. So you would have plenty of time to accumulate. Let's go down to the 8-hour and let's see what Litecoin is going to do next. We already know what it should do, but let's see if it's going to do it. Okay, the 8-hour isn't telling us much different other than, we can see how it broke out of that range, retested it as support, and then continue higher, and then is now up near this upper, this $70 up here. Let's go down to the 4-hour. Let's see what the 4-hour is telling us. Okay, so same thing, nothing much different. Nothing other than you're bullish. Very bullish right now, and you're going to continue bullish. I mean, on the weekly and the daily, you're supremely bullish on Litecoin, especially on the weekly, all right? So I expect the momentum to continue and for Litecoin to break $70 or at least break it and then retest it before Bitcoin decides to make its move and or pull back and pull the rest of the market with it. Now, this is what you're looking for. I'm going to end it with here. If Bitcoin decides to pull back and the market pulls back, I expect it to either come to this first support at $57 or the second support where this green line is on the 4-hour at $52, all right? So those will be areas where you can start, accumulating more for the continued run up of the bull run for Litecoin. Let's talk about sales. Let's talk about selling. Where are you starting to sell? So let's go back to the daily and the weekly. Okay, back to the daily. I personally do not have a lot of confidence in Litecoin, so my ideal range to start selling is above $106. Slowly start to sell off above $106, and if it comes back into a certain range, once I'm looking at the chart and the market is still bullish, I will start to reaccumulate at lower price ranges, slightly lower price ranges for a continued move higher. No need to go to the weekly. The weekly is not going to tell us much other than targets if it does decide to break that $106 range. Once you break $106, man, you got to make your way up to $144. That's going to be huge for you guys. Huge, you guys, as though I have some Litecoin. It's going to be huge for $144, man. I mean, huge. But if you break that, you're going to face so much. I mean, you're not going to have much up there. You haven't spent a lot of time up there. But I expect people to look at $144 Litecoin as a godsend. And they're going to probably sell off like a fricka-fracka. All right. But let's move on to Uniswap. Let's take a look at the crazy move that Uniswap has made and discuss this 6 coins to 6 million buffoonery. All right, Uniswap. I would say start off at the weekly, but it's so little on this chart that it's better to start off at the daily. You're not going to see anything on the weekly. Now, previously on the daily, you can see this triangle structure that I've drawn. It has broken out of, all right? And I spoke to you guys before about I'm only confident in it once it's that it's going to continue higher if it breaks that 240, 250 range. It did that. Okay, this is the daily showing you that is far from that at this point. Let's zoom down to the 12-hour. All right, so I already had other videos that was going up that I was putting up. So yes, it came up, broke that $2.50, $2.60 range, tested it as support. You're not going to be able to see it on the 12-hour. The 12-hour is just a better idea of the breakout, and it's completely out and away from this triangle. So you're going to need to wait for Uniswap for more pattern formation if you're looking for entry. Really, if you're looking for entry, let's draw this line right here for you guys, straight across to the price area where it's at right now. Now, you're going to have to, please excuse me that I didn't update sooner, because I would have told you if it tests and holds support of 240, 250, I don't know if I did or not from that video, take a look at it. Then that's my confidence in a continued move higher before I would even be confident in something like a $293 price range. Okay, so it did go up to $293, retested and held, and continued higher with the bullish market. I've stated previously, Uniswap is so popular that if it is to recover from that black hole, that empty pit, bottomless pit, it would definitely move with the market and continue higher bullish. I said that, all right? So for you, all you naysayers saying that I'm negative Nathan about Uniswap, I told you I had it. I got rid of it because of that. Now, if you're not in Uniswap now and you're looking for entry, look at this line that I drew straight across where the price action currently is. And I want you to say, where is entry here? Because there's so little on this chart that you don't know where support is going to be. Well, I'll tell you, support is still going to be where it was previously before. So this lower line for this triangle, I'm actually going to extend it out. All right. Now that this is extended out, this is going to tell me that I can look to see that if it gets rejected right here at this range, my entry will be back down toward this lower line. So I'm going to zoom in and screenshot this for you guys so you can see it. Well, you're already looking at it as I'm describing it. And you can see that it was retested, all right? Previous resistance becomes support. It had to break 240. It broke it. Came down, retested it, held, and continued higher, guys. This is what it's all about. Now, if you're looking for entry, this upper line that I drew, you can either buy that retest, not financial advice. If the market is still bullish and continuing higher, you need to make sure those are the conditions. Not only do you need to make sure that you're doing this, you need to make sure that the conditions are ripe when you're making that move to buy a retest. Or if the market decides to cool off and pull back, of course, you can, you look to try and get in at this $240, $250 range where it has retested. All right, let's go down to the 8-hour, which really isn't going to tell us much. It's pretty much going to repeat. It's going to be a closer look at what I'm already describing, but let's look at it anyway. I mean, on the 8-hour, you can basically see more closely that it did retest that range that I spoke of previously. All right, so nothing out of the ordinary. This is not a Uniswap channel, so excuse me if I can't update you, daily or, every other day on Uniswap. But right now, as we go down to the 4-hour, I will tell you that it is extremely bullish. All right. And if this market, like I said, continues to be bullish for the altcoins, if this altcoin parade continues, yes, Uniswap is going to benefit from it. So if this continues and it breaks this upper trend line that I drew where the price action is currently on the 4-hour, then you can definitely see once it cools off, it retesting this as support. And if that breaks, your next scrub support will be around 315. Let me draw a small little line here across. Your next support will be anywhere in this range from, let's see, 314 to about 3 what is this down here? To about $3. And then if you break that, of course, major support, like I said, down at that 240 where the lower trend line is. But that's pretty much it for Uniswap, guys. Let me get my final thoughts on Litecoin. Okay, so unlike XRP, XRP is the perfect passive income coin because of the lack of price action. Contrary, Litecoin is a mixture of both. It's going to have the price action and it's not going to have much of it. So it's great for passive income and it's great for gains. Now, to finally answer your question, 6 to 7 months or the rest of the bull run for Litecoin, I need to see Litecoin break $70. I talked about Sushi breaking and holding $70. $70 is a beast for Litecoin. $70 and $82 are critical resistance areas for Litecoin, as far as people who bought in those areas may be looking to get out of Litecoin and into something that's more, that's better. That's just better, plain and simple. Now, if you want to stick to Litecoin, stick around for that Patreon, because we will talk about passive income. We need to get to 500 subscribers. We're almost there. I will announce the 500 subscriber range, and we will consider, based on interaction, whether we will do the Patreon. But I like Litecoin. I think it's perfect to generate passive income in the short term and the long term. But that's all I got for you guys. Appreciate everybody for watching. Make sure you follow us on Instagram. If you have any requests, DM us on Instagram at the.dollar.tree, or let us know in the comment section what you want us to take a look at. I'm Shy. This is the Dollar Tree, and I'll see you guys in the next video.